Well, you are all here to get the best information, unbiased information on the Titleist GT4. Mark, lead us in.
This is a new one. Obviously the GT4 is a small category, right? This is a smaller tour head. In the past, not real forgiving. But this year's a little different. I mean, they've certainly broadened the spectrum of who this makes sense for. Biggest thing is obviously the movable weights, and some other companies have done this, and it makes a big difference. You know, they've got the front weight, which they've done in the 3, and everything's covered up and nice and clean. This has 2 weights, front and back, so that's almost 4 inches you can move with those weights.
Yep.
That changes the CG and the MOI a lot.
Yep.
So in the back position, you know, a single-digit handicap could play this. I mean, even the 6 or 7 is a good ball striker.
Yeah.
Before the other one scared, it was pretty scary.
Yes.
So it's definitely, 2 different drivers. There's almost 2 drivers here. You know, if you get it forward, it's one thing. It's, super low spin. But in the back position, it's pretty forgiving too. So it creeps into the 3.
Yeah. All of the same technology. We've still got the thermoform crown. We've
Right.
still got the split mass technology. We've got the speed ring. We've got the VFT in the face. So, they're all got as much as they can have in terms of technology packed into them. I think, the smaller profiles, people just like that sometimes. That's why they drive towards it.
It doesn't look that much smaller. You said when you set it down, it looks smaller, but I'm sitting there looking at it, and it certainly doesn't look tiny by any means.
No.
Right?
And I think also some of that new face technology where you've got the lines on it, that helps. It kind of makes the face look a bit more there. On the small driver, sometimes it doesn't look like you've got anything in your hand loft-wise.
Especially in 8 degree. You look down and, if you're right eye dominant, you see nothing on the face. It's kind of scary.
And we will do more robot testing for higher speed because that's what this one's aimed at, right?
Right.
They don't even do 11 degree model because it's not aimed at guys that need 11
you get
degrees.
an 8 degree in the forward setting in this thing with 95 miles an hour, and it's probably going to carry 150 yards.
Yeah.
We might roll a long way, but it's really not enough to get in the air.
Well, let's have a look at the graphs here.
Yeah.
And just for the caveat is that we only tested the weight in the front position, which is where, I guess most people are going to start out with testing it anyway, right? If you figure out, well, I need more forgiveness, but I want that shape, and you do flip that weight, you're going to get everything you just talked about. It actually pushes it almost, in the 3 range. Just something to think
about. It puts the MOI just slightly over it, right?
Yeah. So something to think about is, I want the forgiveness of the 3 as much as possible, but the shape of the 4, get that weight in the back, like it's going to make a difference.
Yeah. It's 2 different drivers, really.
And we've seen what we think we would want to see with this driver. We've seen improvements on average in the heel, the toe, the consistency around the face, the speed, everything either held or improved, and we saw the spin just fall off.
Yeah, in the front setting, the spin is way lower than the last one. So, guys with lots of speed that hit it high and stuff, I mean, this is going to be a game changer for those.
Yeah.
It's considerably different. But then again, like I said, you put the weight in the back, and now you can fit a lot more people in it. So it's definitely more useful. I think, if you look at, how many 4s we sold in, last couple of years with those Titleist drivers, which were great selling drivers, it's very small. It might have been 2 or 3%. It may not even be 2%. I think you'll see more of them now. I think you'll be 5 to 10% selling 4s.
And that's why, don't be afraid of this driver. Give it a run. It's got all the technology. And play around with it. You've not only got the weight, you've got the hosel set in too.
Right.
So you can mess around with loft that way. And especially if you get up towards that 10 degree, that's when you can get to 11 with the loft technology in the face.
Yep.
And really, really dial it in. All about fitting, especially this GT4 model.
Yeah, well, they all are, right? There's a lot of adjustments on these things. There's a lot of settings for Titleist. Really, and to fine-tune all those things and get them all exactly right, that's where you pick up the big distance.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you look at drivers, the last 5 years at least, they're all pretty good. And we're kind of getting incrementally smaller differences every year.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you're fit correctly with them and with all this adjustability you've got, that's where you pick up because your swing changes over time. And I tell people, at least check your driver once a year, go get fitted, and it may be fine. But if your path, your angle of attack changes a little bit, or you lose a little speed or whatever, you're giving up a lot.
Yeah.
So you really be fine-tuned and get that dialed in correctly. You get as much as you possibly can out of it.
Well, our job was already hard enough with Titleist drivers being so great last year, and how did they create that generational technology? But it looks like they've ticked the box, not with this model, but all models. And we might have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, well, the exception of the one, which is a specific type of people, I think most people that go get fitted for these drivers are going to at least try 2 of them.
Yeah,
right?
right.
And see which one
Great point.
kind of end up with. But
Yeah.
it's worth doing the work.
Head to a worldwide golf store near you, head to a cool clubs near you, make sure you get fit for this product, get the most out of it, and have a great time doing it.